Pathogens are disease-causing organisms like bacteria, fungi, and viruses. The question asks you to draw one straight line from each type of pathogen to the disease that is caused by that pathogen. Now, the common mistake made here is students tend to draw multiple lines from one box when it says draw one straight line. So, the only fungal disease on here is cholera ash dieback, which affects plants. It's the most unique one you need to learn, so it's kind of easy to remember. The other one is viral, which is AIDS. Malaria is caused by a protozoan, and tuberculosis and cholera are caused by bacteria. Next, it says antibiotics can be used to treat diseases. Antibiotics kill, and it gives you a list. So let's just work down this list. Antibodies are proteins produced by white blood cells, which have a very specific shape. And their job is to bond with protein markers on other cells, like bacterial cells, called antigens. So these over here are proteins, and these are also proteins. And what will happen is antibodies will bond with antigens, and that will help the immune system destroy bacteria or invading pathogens. So because antibodies and antigens are not living, they can't be killed. They're just protein molecules. So that leaves us with two things, bacteria and viruses. Well, viruses basically invade cells, and they are active inside cells. So they use a cell as a host where they reproduce and then they burst out of the cell. Because of this, antibiotics cannot get to the viruses to do anything. So they cannot affect viruses. So the only one you're left with is bacteria, but also antibiotics can kill fungi. A way to remember it is a biotic is a living thing. Fungi and bacteria are living. Viruses are not classified as living because they cannot reproduce themselves. They require a host cell. Figure 1 shows the number of white blood cells in blood samples from 3 patients. So it says number of white blood cells per microliter. You have patient X, patient Y, and patient Z, and you can see 8,500 white blood cells per microliter, 5,700, and then significantly higher, 12,500. Explain why the data suggests that patient Z has a bacterial infection. So explain means state what you see and then give a reason for it. So you can see patient Z has the highest white blood cell count. So that is what you can see. Now, why does that link to them having an infection? Well, white blood cells, their purpose is to fight infection and kill bacteria. So you could say higher white blood cell count for 1 mark, and then white blood cells kill bacteria, and you get 2 marks. Notice explain means state what you see or describe what you see, then give a scientific reason for it. HIV is diagnosed by blood tests. State 2 safety precautions that need to be taken when handling blood samples. So basically, the worst case scenario is that the blood infects you or gets into your circulatory system. And for example, if it carried HIV, you will then be affected by that virus. So you need to take any precaution when handling that stops that happening. So 2 obvious ones are store in sealed containers. So you're not handling the blood, you're not making direct contact, and wear gloves for the same reason you're not making direct contact. This is just a common sense question.